Obviously, NFL season just as fast as it came, it is now gone. It's unfortunate, but that means it's playoff time, which we all know playoff time's the best time of the year. This is something that we've all waited for, countless weeks of some meaningless football, some incredibly important football. It all leads us up to this very moment. The NFL wild card round is here, and we all know it's going to be wild.
First game up, the Chargers march into Houston to play against the Texans.
You're looking at me. I'm gonna Chargers. Okay, I don't think this is that difficult. I think the Chargers pretty easily. The Texans just don't look. They're not the same team they were last year. The Chargers are clicking on all syllables. I love what Harbaugh's done with them, man.
Like the English language, like syllables.
What is it? Cylinders. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know.
What does that even
It's been a while.
mean, though?
Clicking all cylinders.
Firing on all
cylinders,
I guess
good.
like an engine.
Yeah.
Like
If all the cylinders don't fire off, something's wrong. But if it all, everything goes smooth and you take off,
Yeah, I didn't say
car
I said
guy over
hard.
there.
so try.
But yeah, I think the Chargers are pretty easily going to win this game.
Come on, I got agendas on this one to push. So, of course, I'm going to take a certain guy on a certain team, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers and my boy, Justin Herbert. I think it's going to be a very close one. I think the people are starting to push against the Texans a little bit too much now, but their defense is elite. We all know that. That has not changed. It's their offense that has given them problems. They're getting healthier, at least along the offensive line. Nico Collins is still that dude. Nothing changes there. But the Chargers are well equipped to take them on. And that's why I'm going to pick them, not only for the Justin Herbert effect, but also because the Chargers defense ain't no slouch either. So this is going to be a low-scoring one, I think, at least in my opinion. But I think the Chargers pull this one out. Better field goal kicker.
Yeah, that matters. It's only a 2.5-point spread.
I think that spread's going to move as we get closer to the game.
I think it got to 3.
It's at 2.5 right now.
But
Is it on FanDuel?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's a tough one, man, because home field advantage matters, and the Texans being plus money at home feels like a trap. But the Texans just, I don't know, even though they locked up the division, they have been disappointing all year. Like, they just didn't take that next step that everyone thought they would. The defense has come a long way. But yeah, I'm gonna go the Chargers here. I'm gonna lean Chargers with the the Harbaugh effect. I think winning football is in LA.
Yeah,
We sweeping.
yeah, I'm gonna pick the Chargers too. I'd like to pick the Texans because, like
Yeah, I
I
would
said,
too.
I think this line's gonna move a little bit as we get closer to the game, just because everyone and their mother's all over the Chargers. But I just, like you said, I think the Chargers are very well equipped to handle this Texans team, given that the main strength of the Texans right now probably isn't their offense. It isn't C.J. Stroud. It isn't Nico Collins. It's their edge rushers right now. And if anyone has the tackles to stop a dominant edge duo, it's the Chargers. So I think the Chargers are going to handle them pretty easily.
I agree. Like pretty. I don't really see it being.
I thought someone here was at least going to pick the Texans because they are still, like, I understand they've been slumping, but that defense can carry them.
It also,
to a playoff.
we kind of said it coming into the season. Like, they had such high expectations
Yes.
because of how good they were last year that it was going to be hard to live up to those. But I don't know. The Chargers have just been good all year, and the Texans have just had ups and downs.
Every good team they faced this year, they've looked terrible against the Texans. The only team they've beaten early on in the season, I remember, was the Bills by
They
a field goal.
smacked the shit out of the Bills.
Well, that was 20-20. I think
their
that was.
defense. Yeah, but their defense beat the living shit out of Josh.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
Josh Allen's worst game.
In early season, but like at the same time, like they got killed by the Vikings. They got
Yes.
killed. I believe they played that whole division, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they lost to the Lions as well. I mean, obviously it's the Lions, but they haven't looked good against competitive teams. I mean, they play in the worst division, arguably, in football. I just don't
they're
see it.
Mickey
Not
Mouse
arguably.
playoff
They
team.
they
100%.
do play in the worst division in all of football.
Yeah, and now we're questioning.
They
is it
started
Bobby?
falling off at like week 5-ish, and there wasn't even a question as to whether they'd make the playoffs or not. Like,
Yeah.
they've been on a
That's
downward
true, yeah.
spiral for 10+
They
weeks.
started
now.
off 4-1, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just it hasn't been.
Yeah,
the
they've
same.
been on the downward spiral, but we never questioned them making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, given how the two quarterbacks are playing too, like I don't see Stroud outplaying Herbert in this game the way he's playing right now. So
And they're gonna get outcoached 100% on the offensive
Yeah.
side.
You would,
Yeah.
yeah, probably you would think so. I mean, Slowick, man,
Bobby
what a
does not
year of
look good.
regression.
Yeah.
What a year of regression. And I mean, I don't know who's to blame the most. I mean, CJ hasn't looked good at all.
No.
CJ has objectively looked bad, off on a bunch of throws that he was making last year. But Yeah.
Yeah, are we settling that? The Kyler CJ
Oh,
thing?
it's a push.
It's a push?
It's a
Okay.
push.
That's 100%.
It's a push. They both were guard. I mean, Kyler had a good week 18.
Yeah, but that means what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm cool with that being a push.
yeah, that's about as close.
I'm
to a
not gonna
push
come up
possible.
here and argue for $10.
Oh yes, one didn't make the playoffs and the other just played like shit. So I mean, I guess it is a push at that point. But yeah, I think we sweep of the Chargers. Wow.
Yeah. Moving on, probably the game of the week. The spread's 9.5, but the Steelers travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Divisional game. 9.5 point spread for a divisional playoff game is kind of crazy. I know the Steelers are slumping right now, but that's a
Steelers are
crazy
slumping.
spread.
Steelers really just lost against the Bengals because of George Pickens. Like that was Russ didn't play objectively bad
He
in that
didn't.
game, in my opinion. Fryermuth at the end
Should've
had a
caught that pass.
massive drop,
Oh my god.
wide
You
open,
know what else
massive
is
drop.
massive?
I've heard.
so yeah, I mean, all in all, the Steelers aren't as bad as that spread suggests. I mean, you just said it's a divisional playoff game, but with all of that being said, I mean, the Ravens are probably going to win by a touchdown, at least.
I agree. That's so tough. This
I don't know if
defense is
Zay's
so-
playing either. They said he's day to day, but
He didn't
Harbaugh
practice
didn't
today.
Zay Flowers. But Harbaugh didn't sound too confident that he was gonna play. I don't know if that really matters here.
Yeah, I don't know how much that matters to
I
me.
wonder if if he's seriously injured, because it was a non-contact, and they're just not, releasing all the information about the injury to this point, just to keep people guessing.
Well, that's what I said last night in the PlayStation party too to Tom, because we were talking about how just another game how Hurts is technically still in concussion protocol. I said he's playing. Like there's no chance he
Yeah.
doesn't play. They're probably just saying that just to keep the Packers
Flowers
Packers.
didn't practice today.
Those are the combos on OG for it.
Yeah.
Where you guys are
Yeah, OG4 when we won 4 games in a row yesterday. Shout out O'Sleazy, shout out
Come on,
Frank.
Come on, man.
We might be the best squad ever.
Yo, there's
We
some
might be-
green
we're up
stuff
there.
outside that you guys need to remind yourself of. By the way,
There's
like it's
grass
on the
and Fortnite.
floor, it
Right by
grows.
Loot Lake.
No. Oh, sorry. We weren't cool watching wrestling.
I know.
Exactly what you were doing.
The thing
You
is,
were
we all had
focused
the-
Raw on
not
Netflix,
touching
baby.
grass.
Raw
While
on
we were on
Netflix,
Fortnite.
I
all
think
right?
we all had the wrestling on our phones too. Well,
Wow.
I had basketball on.
I didn't.
But
I didn't know.
I know Frank did. I know Frank did, and I know O'Sleazy did. You were
Wow.
just focused. You were carrying the
Locked
squad.
in.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah.
Respect to them too, man. I'm disappointed in you two, bro.
Whatever.
Come on, man. Raw on Netflix.
Not watching
Underwhelming
Huge.
episode, by the way. Just a side note. It was
Yeah, that's what
Good.
that's what I read. Yeah.
good, not great
Yeah.
for expectations, especially. But
I kind of
yeah.
want to pick the Steelers, bro.
I want to pick the Steelers so bad too, but I can't. I can't do it.
We've seen them limit the Ravens in a way that
Yeah.
really no one has
Listen,
this entire year.
Lamar's kryptonite in the NFL in his career have been the playoffs and
Mhm.
the Steelers.
Mhm.
So, do 2 negatives make a positive, or does he just completely
I
crumble?
mean, granted, they just smacked them around.
yeah.
They did.
Just smacked them around. So
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm
The
saying
spread's kind of
What is it again?
9.5.
I'd probably take the points for the Steelers,
100% taking
Yeah.
the points for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
yeah.
100%.
but I would
I'm taking
take
the Ravens. Yeah, I'm taking the
outright.
Ravens
I'm
at
taking the
home.
Ravens, too.
Just they've been an absolute wagon. Their defense has come a long way this
Yep.
season. I don't think I don't think this Steelers offense is going to be able to get much going against them.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens too.
Wow, 2 sweeps. Okay, who's next?
All right, moving on. Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Denver Broncos travel to Buffalo to play the Bills.
I will say I did the polls on the story for the AFC, and it was pretty convincingly across the board. Like everyone picked the
All-
same team. So
Yeah,
basically, yeah,
For this one too or no?
all of them, like all the AFC.
The
matchups.
NFC
The
not yet.
NFC I'm gonna do today. I think it'll be a lot more interesting. But so yeah,
it will be. I agree. We
Yeah,
will
yeah.
have that conversation.
Bills
for sure.
Broncos.
All right, hear me out. The Denver Broncos, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Bo Nix is peaking at the right time. Great offensive line. Cortland Sutton absolutely balling out.
His widow's peaking
I'm taking the Buffalo Bills
by a million.
by a million.
Yeah, gotta do that.
By
I'm so
fucking
happy.
million.
Jason, do it.
Sorry,
I'm
buddy.
I will have to stand on business. I'm going to take the Broncos. I'm going to take the Broncos. You're looking at me. I know you're mad at me. I disagree with you. Bo Nix is not peaking. He's peaked since week 5, bro. He's been fine. The first few weeks this
He's
season,
edging
he was
so
bad.
hard.
He has been great since that rain game against the Jets. He has been nothing short of spectacular. Bo Nix and Sean Payton are going to march into Buffalo, and they're going to beat the Bills. I don't know what the score is going to be. This defense, the Broncos defense, is arguably the best unit in the entire
What do you
league.
like? What genuinely do you think is like the recipe for them to beat the Bills? You see a path, or you just like
I mean, the
has to
defense.
be like an anomaly?
The Broncos have a better defense than the Bills, but obviously going against Josh Allen
Significantly.
compared to what's up.
Significant.
100%, yeah. So
sure.
going against Josh Allen compared to going against Bo Nix is a different story.
course.
It's really just how long they can keep the ball out of Josh's hands, and that's so difficult because the offense they run, it's so they don't have a run game. They don't have a run game. That's going to be the biggest. If they can get something going, whether it is Javonte, if they want to give him like his 10 carries, or if they want to give Jaleel carries or Audric, I don't know who it's going to be. They have to establish something. The screens aren't going to work all game. I don't know if the home run. I don't know. I trust Sean Payton to. It's been working. The game plan has been working.
Hey.
Really, they're just running it through. They're letting Bo Nix take.
Bo's
That's really,
letting that bitch fly.
that's all it is. Sometimes the only thing with Bo Nix is that his deep ball. Oh my god, like he's playing catch with. Like Aaron Hernandez, he just throws that to the clouds, and that's like,
Jesus.
like he just
Leave
overthrows.
that. Please leave that.
He overthrows, he underthrows. I mean, that's not even a bad thing to say.
No,
That's
it's
like-
not. I
That's
agree.
insinuating that he's in heaven. Like that's a compliment.
Heaven's a stretch, but okay.
I mean, that's debatable. But we'll have that
I didn't
conversation
say
another
anything
time.
Deplorable,
I
but
didn't say
okay.
anything wrong. I was saying anything a compliment. But that's the only thing with his deep ball because he has a nice bro. He can throw the ball. He's not a check down merchant. Let Bo cook. I'm saying this hesitantly.
He has a Russ deep ball. Like a very similar deep ball to Russ where he just
lets it
puts
fly.
so
Just
much,
lets it
sails
fly.
it.
so
Yeah,
much
just
under
lets
it.
fly. I love his deep
Sometimes
balls.
it's an underthrow, but like, you know, if it looks pretty when it's like perfect. It really does look pretty
Yeah,
when it's perfect.
he has the perfect deep balls.
You know, you mentioned the run game being non-existent, not even being a thing, not even being a thing. I think the Bills lose as soon as they face at least a competent run game. Honestly, they're one of the worst in the league against any team's
That shit
run
gets
games.
exposed in the playoffs. Look
Exactly.
Like Dallas last year.
That's just
Yeah.
always been the Bills' weakness. That
Yeah.
that is what pretty much gets to them outside of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's a run game, and I think that comes into play massively here because they don't have one. They don't have one.
100%, 100%.
So
It's really just also them being in Buffalo. Like this is massive.
That's it. Word of the day.
Massive.
Word of the day.
This is
Massive.
Raise your yeah.
Bills by a million. It's just
God, I just have to do.
this just isn't the team. Like this isn't the team to take them down. I don't know if Bills are gonna go all the way, but they're not losing to no Broncos at home.
Yeah,
And they-
Bills by 100,000. I'm not moved by Bo Nix beating the Chiefs' third stringers and or the Bengals' worst defense in the NFL. Last time Bo Nix played a real team, the Chargers, he looked like poop.
No, we did not.
He looked like poop.
Why did he look like poop?
Yeah,
I didn't think he played a bad game.
He
in that.
didn't play a bad
obviously,
game.
you're a believer.
What? He
I don't
didn't
think-
play bad.
I don't think
Against the
Sean,
Chargers, he don't. Bro, would they blow a 24 point
Sean
lead?
Payton called a terrible second half.
Stop,
Sean Payton
bro.
called a terrible
Stop.
second
And they can't
half.
run the ball. What do you want them to do? They can't run it.
Stop. It doesn't matter. Exactly. They can't run the ball. They're not going to be able to expose the Bills. Josh Allen will he'll find whoever's Riley Moss is guarding and he'll put that ball there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Poor Riley, man. Just getting picked on
Hey,
because
I mean,
he
who's
plays with
gonna-
Patrick
He'll be all
Surtain.
He'll be all right.
On Keon though, like who's he gonna?
He's
Coop on the play.
we stand by Riley.
We
Moss.
stand with you, Riley Moss. We actually cover with
The
you.
thing-
Keon
Josh
Coleman's
just like-
cooking Riley Moss.
Who?
Keon Coleman cooking Riley Moss. Same way T did.
I mean, I don't know.
Just on his head.
Josh is also
Keon
gonna
the same, though.
be able to
On his,
extend the plays long enough where someone's gonna get open.
on his head,
Been
top.
all year.
But
top,
this is a good
top.
defense to extend the play.
Great
Have
defense.
An insane pass rush. I don't know. I mean, like I'm saying this. Like obviously I'm the one with saying it. Like I don't fully believe what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it. Like
It's actually
You're a
kinda
Bo Nix guy,
crazy.
You have to.
I have
It-
to. I have to.
Like the Broncos team building, also just insane. Like the fact that they're like, I think 70 million in dead cap this year or whatever, 80 million.
Yeah.
And like they're a playoff team, 10-7. Like that's crazy in its own right. Number one. Number two, the pass rushers that you just mentioned, none of them are first round picks.
Mhm.
None of them are even, I don't think top 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And they are one of the best defenses in the entire league. It's crazy. It's impressive. But yeah, I mean, they're walking into Buffalo and turning around with their asses red as all hell. So see you later, Denver.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on all our socials.
Check out our full pod popping up on the screen right now and any other recent videos we've posted.